Welcome back for minute 57 of Iron Man 1. I'm Brian.
I'm Richard.
And this is I Love You 3000 Minutes, the podcast that takes the longest run, that traveled back in time using only our lightning connectors and one USB-C type cord so that we could rewatch the entire Infinity Saga from Iron Man 1 to Spider-Man Far From Home one marvelous minute at a time. Richard, what happened in this minute?
He continues working on that boot. He calls the robotic arm a tragedy.
Yeah, I kept saying travesty, and when we watched it, I was like, oh shit. You are a tragedy.
And eventually it gets to the point where he's ready to try it, and he's like, hope this works. And our view goes to a camera's view, and it's more of a scene of the entire lab.
Like a home recording type thing.
Yeah.
View.
And it's more of a scene of the entire lab, and he's like, okay, and he's kind of looking at all the parts that he has on, and he kind of fiddles with the hand thing a little bit, and then he just says in the video what he's going to do, because that's what scientists do with experiments, so that they can look at the footage later and know exactly what it is. And he's like, we'll see if even 10% power can achieve lift. And it achieves lift. It achieves a lot of lift. And it propels him straight into this diagonal ceiling wall behind him.
Yep.
He does half a backflip before he splatters. He doesn't actually splatter. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
He just kind of hits it, and it looks painful. Oh, before doing it, he told the machines around him to look alive in case there's a fire, and one of them was pretty alive and just hit him with a fire extinguisher. Not literally hit him with a fire extinguisher, but he sprays him with a fire extinguisher for 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Just...
And I love this minute because I, like many, watched the trailer where he is actually floating around his area, which is a later minute that we're going to get into. And then when he lands, it goes, yeah, I can fly. So in the theater, seeing this, getting ready, I'm like, all right, I know what's coming. Boom. Like some slapstick comedy. Mwah! Perfect way to, I'm sure they scripted it like this anyway, but using the movie and the advertising to set you up for one expectation and then completely divert it. Beautiful. And I had never caught that line of, let's see if 10% achieves lift capacity. That's kind of silly considering now.
So he has a lot of ample power in what he made, which is good.
Yeah. Which is another way to describe my daughter.
She has a lot of ample power.
And something I made. Alright, but let's do a little scrub through. We get a better view of that screen in the background in the beginning of this minute. So it is a boot in the top right-hand corner around the 1 second mark. Although on the left side of the screen, still confused at those parts. But we get the boot mirroring the boot in real life so that when that back part of it opens, the view on the computer screen changes to an open model of it. Not very technical, but what does this E and F on the home video camera mean?
It's so...
empty, full?
It's so complicated. It's the battery.
I know it's the battery, but what does the E and F mean? Empty, full?
Yeah.
Who says that about a battery?
Some people.
Besides on my car.
I've seen that. Your car.
I don't give a AA battery and be like, it's full.
It's just a battery meter. It could be the tape, I guess. No, it's the battery. It's
definitely bad. It's funny because at 12 seconds it zooms out, but it's already been filming for 1 minute and 3 seconds. And he's setting up one of the lights, maybe? Or is there another camera on that light as a backup?
He lifted something up. I mean, that light's more towards the camera, so he's setting up something behind it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we got a few lights to illuminate the area. What is this kind of flooring?
I don't know what that is.
He's got an extra bit of flooring that actually reminds me a lot of mobile dance floors. When I used to dance doing ballroom, they had this that they could lay down and put together, and it was easier. So you could have a dance floor in any place. But
it's a stage. He set up a little stage.
Yeah,
it's probably more precise measurements.
And so that he doesn't burn the floor, his actual floor?
Could be. I mean, it's a cement floor. He probably doesn't care that much, but I'm thinking maybe each square is 2 feet by 2 feet, and so it's just makes it easier to...
Yeah, we've got
to measure distance in his experiments. So
nice.
Half a meter. So he's saying what they are at the bottom. Start mark half a meter and back of center.
Yeah,
So.
all the squares are marked with like a 0, 1, or 2, and 3 coming back. So yeah, each square is about a meter far because he goes
half a meter. Start mark half a meter back of center. So
right.
Center would be 0.
Yeah, okay. Because I mean, technically, he puts this left foot in the middle of the square, so not on the line, and then he steps his right foot back out of frame. So is each square a quarter meter?
All right, zoom back out a little bit so that we know exactly where center is. I mean, not zoom out. Rewind just a little bit before his home camera zooms in. So
it goes to 3 and 2, 1, 0, and then this is 0, and his shoe stops in the middle of this square, his left shoe, and then his right shoe steps back. So they're within the square, or possibly on the line at the back of the square. Wait, actually, let me see if it... There we go. See? In trying to describe it, I kept talking about the 20-second mark, but then at the 29-second mark, we get a bigger zoomed out. So see how his heels... Yeah, his heels are 2 lines away, so are each square a quarter meter?
He said, oh man, the thing is, the meter really looks like 2 of those squares, if I know, knowing what a meter is.
Yeah. And also he calls that center at the 0, but then for the square closest to us, it only goes 2 lengths. Like, it's
not the center of that stage that he set up. That 0 is not the center of that stage, no, but I think he's calling it center. I think
all the numbers go out from it.
I would think 1, yeah, you're right. But if you actually think of center, the actual center of that stage is where that 1 is, right? So half a meter back would be that back square. Yeah, where you had your thumb. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Very confusing markings.
I don't know why he set it up like that. It's like he didn't number it centered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually, half a meter behind center is where he's standing, and it's behind the 1 instead of the 0. So normally the 0 would be the middle. I don't know why on that stage the 1 is the middle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're looking at when he backflips onto the wall and one of his heels makes a big spark. So it either hits a light and breaks it, or I think he hit a light, because we can see both of the heels going out, but there's only sparks on the
left heel.
Yeah, I don't know if he broke the heel or if he just broke a little light that was up there.
And it would make sense that's where the lights are, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we actually get a little shot of him continuing to work at his desk.
Yeah, near the end of the minute at 59 seconds, we see what's at the bottom of the Stark mug, RPL. Does that mean anything to you?
Absolutely nothing.
But your whole career is in mug making.
Right.
If anyone wants to stalk Richard, look at the mug makers first. He's sipping from his Stark mug at the bottom of the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got some schematics of the boot. Yeah, nothing too complicated there. It's funny because where he lifts off, the smoke is still there, and there's some sparks just from his liftoff on the ground.
So that left boot was having issues.
No, it's both boots, I think. On the ground, at least.
There's lift from both boots. Not sure.
I mean, because here are the sparks from the left boot, but then there's a bunch of other sparks over there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, both sparks on the ground. I don't know.
I'm not sure how much they thought about that.
So. I'm sure they thought. I feel like, they definitely, I think they thought about it probably a lot. But I think in the right hand is the control of the power. Are these 2 of the same things? Or are they 2 separate?
I don't think so. On his left hand is something he controls with all fingers, and in his right hand is something he's holding, I thought.
They're kind of similar.
But...
Goes a little further out on the left hand. There's extra bits.
Mm-hmm. Like, on the left hand, it just looks like something he's controlling with more of his individual digits. And then on the right hand is something that he just kind of tosses in his hand and he's holding. I don't know.
So, like, the right hand might be controlling how much power to send to the boots, and the left hand is kind of like just pulling the trigger.
I don't know.
Well, I feel like I've been very boring in this minute, but...
Looks like he needs to try again with 1% thrust.
I was trying to decide if that was that's what she said, Joe.
Thank you so much for not doing it.